Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a knife that I've had my eye on for quite some time, but I just never either pulled the trigger on it, or when I went to look for it, it wasn't available. And a couple of months ago, I actually saw it, it was available, so I decided to go ahead and pick it up. Now this is obviously a Kizer knife, and as you guys can see, it is a little bit larger size box, and that's because this is a fixed blade, it's not a folder. And I've been toying with the idea of carrying a fixed blade as part of my EDC, but obviously because I prefer to have more of a minimalistic EDC, I wanted something that was a little bit smaller, but it still gave me a lot of the capabilities that a larger size fixed blade knife did, but it also gave me the peace of mind of having a fixed blade versus a folder. Now I know a lot of folks that carry fixed blade knives also carry a folder, so it's almost like a primary and a secondary and stuff like that. So that's actually how I've been carrying this knife. I've been carrying it as a secondary knife, either for tasks where I don't want to use my primary folder, or if push comes to shove and I had to use it in a self-defense role, I also have the capability to do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is the box that it comes in, and on the side right here it gives you all the information that you're going to need. Again, this is the Kizer Harpoon Mini. This is model 1040S5. There are a couple different variations of this knife. Full size is 6.49 inches, and this is the design by Maverick Customs. You do get a 3V blade. It is black, and then you also have a PEI handle, and that's pretty much what sold me on this knife, was that handle. So I'll go ahead and show it to you guys when I open up the box here. This is just a slip cover that slides off, and then you have your box right here. So let's go ahead and open that up. You have a little bit of advertising at the top here from Kizer, and then the knife itself there. So I will take this insert out, take a look at some of the other stuff that's inside. First things first, you do have your sheath here. This is a Kydex sheath, but they've designed it so that it looks like carbon fiber, so that's pretty interesting, but it is Kydex. It's a very thin sheath, which I do like, especially if you're going to be carrying this knife for EDC purposes. You want to make sure that it doesn't, it's not too bulky. And then you do have a nice thumb ramp here, which allows you to pull the knife out from the sheath very, very easily. Now, the one thing that was a little bit of a drawback for me was the clip right here. This is a really, really large clip. Now, I know this is more of a slimline one as opposed to the larger ones. But just for what this knife is, something more like an ulti clip will definitely serve it better. So that's one of the first things that I'm going to do, is I'm going to swap it out for an ulti clip. But you do have a hole right up here. So what they do include is they include this little piece of cordage. Now this is not long enough to be able to like put it around your neck. I mean, maybe you could, depending on how how close to your neck you want to have it. But this is, in my opinion, better suited for having it where you can attach it to the actual sheath right here, and then kind of loop it through one of your belt loops, and then drop the knife into your pocket. And then when you go to retrieve it, you actually just have to pull, and the knife will come loose, and then the actual sheath will stay. Will like kind of dangle down. So again, that's what I envisioned first when I saw this length of cordage that they gave you, just because it didn't look like it was too long. So you do have some more paperwork in there, and then a polishing cloth or a cleaning cloth right there. So let's go ahead and put the cordage in there. We'll leave the sheath out here so you guys can see what the knife looks like when it goes in there. And here is the knife itself. So go ahead and remove this. Again, this is the version with the black 3V blade and the PEI handle. Now, I love the way that the black and the PEI looks. Now, PEI, a lot of people know it also as Ultim. This is a really, really cool material. This particular one has these ripple effects on the handle. I don't know if you guys can make those out, but it gives you a lot of traction and grip on the knife itself. Again, this is 6.49 inches overall length. So it's not a large size knife by any means. And then you do have a 3-inch blade there, so perfect size for most of your EDC tasks. I love the way that this harpoon looks also. It just looks really, really cool. You have this kind of thumb rest on the top there. There's no jimping on the top, but your thumb just locks right in there. And then I have more than enough purchase on the handle to make it very, very comfortable. Now again, this is 3V, so it's going to be very, very sharp because also it is a full flat ground on the blade there. So perfect for slicing, opening up packages. The tip is very, very usable. It is very, very pointy, but it's still pretty thick behind the tip there, so you're not going to have to worry about it if you're piercing to open up a box or something like that, that it's going to break on you or anything like that. So really, really awesome example of a really cool EDC blade. I think this is one of those knives that, you know, even if you're not used to carrying fixed blades as part of EDC, this is definitely a great place to start. Now again, this is a full tank construction, and as you guys can see, the PEI does allow you to kind of see through it, and you see that they have cut out some holes to reduce the weight on this. Because the weight on the knife itself is 2.1 ounces, so very, very light. So again, perfect for EDC carry. You're not gonna feel it, whether it is if you're using the clip that's included and you're attaching it to your belt, or you're dropping it in your pants and using, you know, what I explained with that, or replacing the clip and maybe, you know, clipping it on the inside of your waistband or something like that. It's going to be very, very comfortable because of how light it is. And then again, it's, you know, not a big knife whatsoever. So on the blade, you do have the Kizer logo right there, and then on the opposite side, you have the Maverick Customs Harpoon Mini, and then 3V. So the designer, the name of the knife, and then the blade steel right there. So really, really cool. Let's go ahead and put it inside of the sheath here so you guys can see. First things first, check out that audible click. All right, so that is not going anywhere. No rattling or anything when it's in the sheath right there. So again, really nice compact package. Very thin, obviously, you know, if you don't look at the clip. Very thin profile on the knife and the sheath right there. That thumb ramp does allow you to retrieve the knife very easily, and you can go ahead and use it. Now, the cool thing about the clip is if you did want to stick with the clip, it is reversible, so you can move it off to the other side for a left-handed carry as well. But again, just see how thick that is. This is obviously screaming for either no clip whatsoever, dropping it into the pants, or into the pocket, I should say, or something like an ulti clip that'll give you maybe like a nice deep ride on this if you want to go ahead and put it in your front pocket or in your back pocket and have it just sitting in there. Because again, without that clip, you can see how thin of a profile that is for the knife itself. So really, really awesome example of an EDC knife, as I mentioned. I'm going to leave a link to the Kizer website below in case you guys are interested in checking it out. They do have a couple other options, difference in blade material, also handle material if you like something a little bit different. I believe they have some G10 options, and then some, let me see if I'm not mistaken, G10 options, some micarta options, different blade steels, D2, things like that. So, you know, they do have a couple other choices, different colors and stuff like that, that would maybe suit you a little bit better. But I do like the color here, the Ultim or PEI, because it has that kind of yellowish color to it, and then with the black powder coated blade there, it looks really, really awesome. Last but not least, you do have a really nice sizable lanyard hole in the back there, so if you do have larger hands and you need a little bit of something extra, you can go ahead and throw a lanyard so you can wrap your pinky around there if you need it, or if you just want to throw like a decorative lanyard or something like that, maybe a Ultim bead as well would look really, really nice on this. I might have to look into that because I think that would look really, really cool. But all in all, as I mentioned, I think this is a great starting point, especially if you've been thinking about maybe EDCing a fixed blade knife, but you just don't know about the size or the look or something like that. This is a great option for that, in my opinion, just because it's very small, very, very light, but very versatile thanks to that 3-inch blade, and then just the harpoon style blade shape here. It's very utilitarian for a lot of EDC tasks, so I would definitely recommend checking it out. So there it is. This is a look at the Kizer Harpoon Mini EDC fixed blade knife. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.